Hi, New Vintage Church. Daniela here from Australia. I am so excited to be sharing the devotional with you guys. I'm so excited about what God's doing here, even in the middle of coronavirus. And I know that He's at work there with you guys. And there's a lot more in store. So today, I just wanted to share with you what I felt like God was speaking about this time. And I hope that you are ready for some cool information. Basically, God's been just speaking so much about rest in this season and about Sabbath and stopping. And luckily with coronavirus, we kind of have no choice but to slow down and stop and kind of reflect on what really matters. So I was actually given a book called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by a pastor named John Mark Comer. You might have heard of him. You might have read the book. If you haven't, it's super great. God's just been really encouraging me through it in this season. So I got here 3 months ago and have been involved in the discipleship training school and working in the kitchen, working on the hospitality team, and also working on the worship staff. So it's been really great to work with people from all over the world and prepare for students and staff going overseas to go share the gospel with people everywhere. It's been so great. But with coronavirus, now we're running our schools more online. We have students and staff here as well, but we all live in smaller units so that we're not all in mass groups together. So it's definitely a very different season, but God is totally speaking and providing and doing amazing things here. So it's a really cool season, and I don't want to miss what God's doing, and I don't want you to miss what He's doing either. So I think that's why He might have highlighted this topic of hurry for you. So the disease we're all concerned about at the moment is coronavirus, but there's actually a disease that we all have. Yes, we all have it, and it's called the disease of hurry, and or the distraction disease. We're all addicted to being busy, and it actually does, like being busy, being on our phones, being constantly attentive to something is actually an addiction, and it releases dopamines in us. Like, we get addicted to it. So if you don't believe me that you're addicted or that you have hurry sickness, I'm going to challenge you right now to turn off your phone, to pause this video, turn off your phone for 5 minutes, and just sit still in silence, not falling asleep, not thinking about anything else, but just sitting in silence. And if you can do that, you probably are ahead of most of us. Yeah, I don't even know if that's possible for a lot of people in the world, but we all struggle with hurry sickness. And some of the symptoms that come from that are when we're so hurried, we're so busy, we are irritable, especially to the people closest to us. We're hypersensitive. Another symptom is workaholism, or just nonstop activity, like we cannot stop. Another symptom is emotional numbness. You just don't feel anything. Our priorities might be out of order. There might be a lack of care for our body. There's also escapist behaviors, like we just need to leave. We just need to get out. We can't be still or be confronted with emotions or whatever it is, so we just leave. We escape. There might also be a slipping of our spiritual disciplines because we're so busy, we're so hurried. So spending time with God isn't as important or as much of a priority. I totally struggle with this, so you're not alone. The last symptom you might notice is isolation. So I wanted to read part of the book that mentioned that part. Let's flip to it here. So isolation, that might be a symptom of hurry. You feel disconnected from God, others and your own soul. On those rare times when you actually stop to pray, and by pray, I don't mean ask God for stuff. I mean sit with God in the quiet. You're so stressed and distracted that your mind can't settle down long enough to enjoy the Father's company. Same with your friends. When you're with them, you're also with your phone or a million miles away in your mind, running down the to-do list. And even when you're alone, you come face to face with the void that is your soul, and immediately run back to the familiar groove of busyness and digital distraction. Whew, that definitely hit home when I read that. I have hurry sickness, and God is healing me from that at the moment. And I don't want you to live in this sickness either, because we are made for more. The author mentions that hurry is a form of violence on the soul. And there's actually an attention economy. So people actually make money off of your attention span. So if you look at Facebook, the author talked to one of the founders of Facebook, or I think it was a president or someone who's in charge at Facebook. And he said, I don't let my kids have Facebook because when we created the platform, our thought was, how do we consume as much of people's time and conscious attention as possible? Because that's how they make money. So it's digital capitalism. Economists call this attention economy. A company can get your money if and only if they can get your attention. Pretty crazy. Lastly, this was really funny. I laughed out loud when I read this, but in regards to our attention span, he says, cue a terrifying trend. Our attention span is dropping each passing year. In 2000, before the digital revolution, it was 12 seconds. So it's not exactly like we had a ton of wiggle room. But since then, it's dropped to 8 seconds. To put things in perspective, a goldfish has an attention span of 9 seconds. Yes, that's right. We're losing to goldfish. Crazy. So I feel like God just wants to bring this up to encourage us that we're not alone, but there is a war on for our attention and for our souls. And when we're living in the busyness, we could run around for our whole lives down here when really we were meant to stop and walk at the pace of Jesus. And he actually has more. What if hurry is not the way of Jesus? What if walking at Jesus's pace will bring freedom to you? What if there's a better way to live? What if God has more in store for you? I totally believe he does. What if you haven't even scratched the surface of the dreams God has for you? What if there's breakthrough waiting, but it's just waiting for you to stop so it can happen? What if God is moving right now in the world and you're missing it? I think this season is a gift to us to stop. We kind of have a reason to stop and Sabbath and rest and learn to hear God's voice again. Yeah, the verse that I felt like God said was, be still and know that I am God. He's saying that to you right now. Be still and know I am God. I've got you. And he just wants to be with you. He just wants our hearts. From there, everything flows. And in Jesus, in Psalm 16, it says he is the fullness of joy. He is life and satisfaction. He came to give us life to the fullest because he loves you so much. So, just a takeaway for you, it's know that you're not alone. There is a war on for your attention, but Jesus is stronger than that. We're in this together. And lastly, I just want to ask if you would just take some time right now to ask the Holy Spirit to reveal to you his heart, God's heart for you. Would you just stop and ask him, God, what's your heart for me right now? Yeah. So I challenge you to take 60 seconds, ask God what that is, listen and start walking at the pace of Jesus because there's so much life ahead. I love you guys. I miss you, and I'll see you soon.